Hello everyone, this is your girl Fabulous Eddie. What's up everyone? This is one of those conversations, oh my goodness, that I know a bunch of parents are going through. As you guys already know, my husband was raised in America and I was raised in Africa, so we have different cultures and we have different beliefs and we have different system, and we have also we were raised very differently. My husband was raised free, I almost want to say freelance. And I was raised very strict. I was raised very strict. Like, I wasn't allowed to date until I went to the University of Calabar. When I was going, my mom said, Annie, you're gonna get to university, and then you're gonna meet a boy and he wanna kiss you. That was the very word my mother said. So before we continue, hit subscribe, the subscribe button, hit like, hit share and everything. Guys, we're going to be dealing with conversations I know that people are having in their homes. You understand what I'm saying? So today we are talking about the sex talk with teenagers. It's the dreaded topic of the world. So we were driving, going to grocery shopping, and then my husband raised a very important question. Babe, what did you say?
Now, my point is not necessarily the sex talk, but just to get our kids acclimated and being comfortable with conversating and dealing with the opposite sex in high school. At this present time, we have a very, very strict policy, which pretty much my wife leads, and I'm cool with that at this time. But it's essentially no boys, focus on school, and don't worry about dating until you get to college. Okay, so my point is that I think we should, open the conversation up, maybe allow the kids to, go on some parental supervised dates if they choose, so that we can be with them and navigate that before they go off to college. Because once they go off to college, we have absolutely no control. And I personally don't want my kids to be completely 100% naive to the way that boys are and the way that the situations in today's environment are. So anyway, that's my perspective, but my wife is very much...
Yeah, because we have 4 girls, and then we have our oldest she just turned 15 in December. Our next oldest turned 14 in December. And then we also have a 11-year-old, and we have a 10-year-old. My thing about dating, is when I was growing up, like I told my husband, I said, I turned out perfectly. I was dating, and I wasn't allowed to date at all. I went to the University of Calabar, studied biochemistry, and then after that I went to medical school, University of Benin, medical school and everything. But I wasn't allowed to date because my mom felt that it would distract me from my studies. So that's how I feel. I feel like, to me, boys, there is so many fish in the ocean, like boys they're always gonna be boys. You high school, they're boys, you go to university, more boys. But I feel like, to me, when you are at a more appropriate age, you understand what I'm saying, and then where you are able to handle a lot, because with boys come heartbreak. Boys, some of them are not faithful, because everybody who's been through relationship, you sometimes you kiss a bunch of ugly frogs before you reach the real one. Why go through all that experience, all that thing, and also, especially young kids, you're worried about doing well in school, and you want to worry about also, is he faithful to me, is he not faithful to me, is he where is he at? Please, we don't need all that stress in our life. Focus on the number one thing, your school work. Get your schoolwork, get your education, and then when you finish, you get your schoolwork, you get your education. The world is full of fishes. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. I just feel, to me, it's a distraction. So in our house, my husband was raised differently. I assume he was allowed to have girlfriends, and I wasn't. Like, my mom said, don't try it. Like, my mom was very strict, with me. Was very strict with me. The only time she was when I was going to university, she told me, Annie, there are going to be boys there. When the boy want to kiss you, that's the exact word that my mom said to me, and you can kiss the boy. That's what my mother said. I was like, my mom raised me very strict. She made me feel, even though I studied biology in school, and I knew how But I think in Africa, we weren't really told how babies come to be, in elementary and high school. They didn't really teach us all those things, So I felt that, there's a police in front. I felt that there was, I felt that my mom told me that if I just kiss a boy, that I'll be pregnant. I didn't want to be pregnant. I didn't want to be pregnant. So I had a lot of siblings. I was the oldest of how many siblings? And what do you call it? The oldest of how many siblings? And I didn't want to have kids. There was a lot of things I didn't want to do, and I was like, no, this boy is going to. Is that the issue? I was like, this boy is going to have me pregnant and then abandon me, and then I'm left with this kid to raise and everything, So I was like, no, I'm not going to. So that's my reason, with my kids, that I see, like, my daughter is in 9th grade right now, and I see her friends, like, every time I come to pick her up, she's like always hanging out with this boy. And the other day, I think my husband saw the same girl walking with this boy, walking with the boy, around our neighborhood. And I was like, and then also I think our neighbors have, like, their kids, like the kids already have boyfriends, and I've been through probably 2 boyfriends and maybe 1 girlfriend or something like that, So, America is such a free land, sometimes it's scary to me, it's scary because I was raised very strict. My parents made decisions for me. We as kids weren't allowed to make our own decision. We followed whatever our parents told us to do. But being in a house with my husband was raised differently. He had an opinion. He was raised in America. He had an opinion. He had a say in his life. I didn't have no say in my life. My mom told me, go here, go there, do this, do that. That's my mother. That's how it was, Daddy, and ma. I didn't have an opinion, like, but not that I didn't have an opinion, not that I wasn't allowed to have an opinion. I was allowed to have an opinion, but I felt that my parents, they make the decision for me. They I trusted them and everything. Yeah, in our household, my husband, wants our kids' opinion. He wants, what do you want to do? And I'm like, it's strange to me, because I'm like, what do you want to, kid? Are you asking the kid what the kid want to do? You know what I'm saying? So
well, that's not 100% correct. There are certain things that I don't give them a choice on, but the whole point, though, is that our oldest is, like my wife said, 15. The other one's 14, and I believe that they're going to have to make decisions and learn how to differentiate between, what's distracting and what's not, even now, before they get off to college, and the sooner they get to practice that and learn that, and then for us to be involved in those decisions, it's going to be helpful for them, versus waiting for them to get to college and then doing that on their own when they're all by themselves.
But I waited, nothing happened to me.
Yeah, and
I waited, I didn't have a boyfriend. Nothing.
Great.
I went to college. I wasn't like a mugu. In Nigeria, they call it mugu, a fool, or I didn't have a correct sense to know to differentiate between who is playing games with me, who's not playing, or make the right decision. I was equipped,
I personally believe that that's rare, that someone could go through that type of seclusion, and their parents really dictating everything, and then going off to college and turning out to be a good person, and not being led astray and tempted and fall into all the attacks of what boys can do. That's what I'm just thinking. Is I personally,
you got a good wife.
I know, and I appreciate
you
that.
You got a great wife.
But I think that it's. But I also think that you grew up in Africa in a different type of situation. In America, it's a lot different. It's not like your mom was able to pretty much control everything, even when you went to college. She knew everybody up in the college, it seemed. you know. And
no, my mom didn't know anybody in my college. She knew, she trusted that she raised me right, because like even when I was in college, there are certain times away from my, because I went to University of Calabar, which was like 7 hours away from Warri, you know, where my home was. But when I went to college, every time I felt like I was making a decision, I always had like my mom's voice in my head or my dad's voice in my head to tell me, "Annie, don't do this," or "Annie, do that." You know, I think for me, understanding your concern is that you feel that the kids will be ill prepared to face relationship when they are in college. You kind of want to prepare them for when they go to college and they face situation where they have to have a boyfriend. But I feel like, to me, the way I grew up, when I went to college, you know, and you know, after my mother made the statement that she told me when I was going off to college, when they dropped me at University of Calabar, you know, in Nigeria, I wasn't ill prepared, you know. I mean, it doesn't mean like, even when I was in high school, my class, I was in additional math class at DSC Technical High School, you know, one of the best schools in Nigeria, and it was a private school. And also my class, there were about 14 boys and 4 girls. So my class was full of boys and stuff, you know. My mom had birthday parties for me and the boys would all come, you know. But my mom told me, it's not like if you don't mingle with boys, even when you're not dating them. You understand? You do mingle with boys. Like my kids, they have boys that they are, you know what I'm saying, they are friends, you know, in their classroom and everything. But the only thing about it is that I told them, because America, let me tell you something, America scares me. Let me put it the honest truth. It scares me. There are a lot of teenage pregnancies. There are a lot of kids, I have a lot of some relatives, you know, who had dreams of becoming doctors, pharmacists, engineers, and they become teenagers, and you know, they become teenagers, and then next minute they drop out of high school with a baby, and then they're left with this baby to raise. I have 3 or 4 of them, you know, like that. And I asked them, like, okay, are you going to finish your medical, you know, go to college and finish? No, they're working at Toys R Us, Walmart. They hate their job, they hate their life. So that's the reason why I am so cautious with my girls. I have 4 girls, you understand?
So let me ask you this: are you gonna let our girls go to prom or homecoming dance?
I mean, they went to dance.
Yeah,
there was a dance. They went to the 8th-year dance.
Yeah, but they went as a group with their friends. Are you gonna let them, if a boy asks Ayana to
I don't
go
too
to
much
the
like
dance,
that. I don't like that. I don't like that. My brother had a baby prom, pregnated somebody prom. Do you understand? And his life is wonderful now, but it's been somehow. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, to me, it's not like they couldn't have made a better decision or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's no regrets or whatever. But I just feel like, to me, as a parent, I'm trying to be protective of my girls. That's what I'm trying to do, you know. I'm trying to be, boys, you can let them all go and do whatever you want to do, you know. But for girls, I feel like, to me, we have to guide them. Like, to me, I feel like boys are drama. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right now, at the early age, why do you need to have a boyfriend for? And then you'll be in school, like, okay, you have your maths test. And education is very important to me. You understand? I grew up in Africa. Doctor, lawyer, engineer. Pick one of them. Make your life as easy as possible, or, you know, whatever. You know, then you now go and have a boy on top of the matter. Huh? Hey, God, no. Let me speak Nigerian for you. You go and put boy inside the matter. It's not easy. It's not easy. Next minute, you think about, oh, is he dating somebody else? Everybody has dated. I was in college there. You're dating somebody. You're worried about, is he following somebody else? Is he not following somebody else? Your education is going down the drain because you are busy worrying,
so
sleepless nights.
So you don't think that if your mom and parents acclimated you to
no,
boys and to that experience and how to manage that in high school, you don't think that could have helped you throughout college at all?
No, because I feel like, to me, there is no experience that is the same. There's no experience. I say, what would my mom have done to tell me, to prepare me for dating in college? Nothing. All she had to tell me was that, all she said was, I followed a person that is reading a good course, or is from a good family.
This is what I'm envisioning.
Okay.
So essentially, our girls, or our son, or whatever, they're raised in a strict environment, never engage or interact with the opposite sex.
No, I didn't say don't engage.
No,
I said
but
don't
I'm
date.
About they don't date.
You have a boyfriend. Don't kiss.
Okay,
don't.
But let's say
we're not dating.
Okay, so. But when are they going to ever engage? Because they don't.
When you go to college.
No, but they never engage anywhere in high school. based
I don't
on
think
what
it's
we're doing
necessary.
right now.
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, so
I
then
feel like to
they
me,
get
my
to
goal,
college,
they
and then
do
fall
engage because
head
they
over
go to
heels
no,
with
babe.
some boy.
They are
Okay?
smart enough.
No, but
Romeo is not.
in real life, people fall in love, okay, and they fall in love, and that first love can be heartbreaking at times, and then they experience that in college.
It was heartbreaking.
They
It was
experience
heartbreaking.
it in college, and then they're just naive. They don't understand it, and their grades, I would imagine, will suffer to some degree. But then they've never talked to their parents about that experience or that process.
I don't think that I don't think that our kids, we were raising them, they won't talk to us about things. They will talk to us about things when it gets to, like now we are talking about I mean, we've had I have, and you have probably, they know about the sex talk, because I've told them, I said, you get pregnant for any boy, watch, I've given him example around me. I say, watch, your education is zero, we'll go to zero, and the next minute, you'll be abandoned by him. He is going along his life, and then you are stuck with a baby that is crying, 24 hours a day, and you want to travel? No, you cannot travel. You cannot do anything. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I feel like, to me, focus when you are in high school. Focus, because that's the foundation of your college education. Is where it's going to carry you somewhere. You finish that high school education, get good grades, get into Harvard University or a wonderful university to study a great course. That's the foundation of your life. And then when with that foundation and all the training, there's nothing you're missing. Honest truth, there is nothing you're missing. Boy, there's nothing you're missing there. That's to me anyway. You get to college, and then when you get to college, you will be more mature to handle life's situations. That's how I feel. I don't think there's any preparation that you can do to teenagers to prepare them, because you dating somebody, that's more headache. For me, that's more headache.
Right. Well, everybody, we would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this subject. What are you doing with your kids? Are you guys having those conversations? Are you letting them date? If so, how are you managing that? How do you monitor that and protect them? And then what are your thoughts about them being prepared for when they go off to college and are not under your supervision?
Why do they have to be prepared for dating when they go off to college?
I don't know. In my opinion, I think that is something.
Did you date during college?
I did. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I did. But,
you dated during college. So when you dated,
surprising?
so did that? Yes, it is surprising to me. So you dated during college. So did that prepare you for when you dated in what do you call it? High school?
No, because in high school,
did you date in high school?
My parents allowed me to date if I wanted to.
Did you date?
I dated on occasion, but it wasn't like a real big issue. It wasn't like we had to have a formally.
Did it prepare you?
But I do feel like that it wasn't anything foreign to me when I went to college, so I didn't have a substantial. It was just a normal thing. But I'm imagining our kids under our current circumstance that they might be foreign to them, and I'm afraid that they might not handle it well since it's so new to them when they get to college, and I don't want that to be the case. That's what I'm thinking. So
your dating during high school, did that prepare you for dating in college?
No, it just teaches you how to interact with the opposite sex. How to kind of talk to them, how to approach them, how to experience rejection or acceptance, and that it's not the end of the world. So that's
when
just
you
a
were
part of the everyday what most people engage in.
So when you were in high school, didn't you have? Because I mean, even when I was in high school, even excuse me, even though I didn't date, but I interacted with the opposite sex. There were 14 of them in my class. So it's not like if I didn't interact with them. But to me, let me say something that I think what happened to me was that when I was in school, when you have a platonic relationship with a boy, a platonic relationship with a boy, I think it kind of better prepares you to be able to understand them. That's how I feel like, because I had a lot of boys as my friends. I mean, I can name them for you, like whatever, that were in my class, and we were friends. There was nothing attached. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing attached to it. So when I went to university, I felt like, to me, it kind of helped me to handle boys better, because I could have a boy. I have a lot of them that still interact with me today, but it was a strictly platonic relationship, and I know how to. It kind of made me. I feel like it enabled me not to be desperate, because I wasn't like anxious for their attention. I wasn't fighting for their attention, or I was just normal with them. I don't know, it kind of gave me an advantage where I can select like who I want to have a relationship with and who I don't want to have a relationship, how to handle. I feel like it works. It worked in my case. You feel like it helped you interact with girls better when you started dating them. Like it gave you like an advantage. That's what you're saying?
It's not an advantage. It just helps you socialize in it, because it's good to have platonic relationships, but then to meet someone that you like, and navigate those feelings and circumstances can only help you for the future. But I think it definitely needs. It's not like I was out free and running wild in high school, but I was able to at least experience that. But the great thing about it is you were raised differently, and you turned out perfect.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. So I guess my concerns are, not that, there's hope for it, because apparently you're doing well, I know our kids are raised great, and I just wonder if that area, if we're being too strict with them on that area right now, because it's not the end of the world in my opinion. Like if they do go to prom, there's ways for us to manage that situation and monitor it, and plus what we've instilled in our kids thus far, I'm sure that they'll make the right decisions, But you, on the other hand, don't believe in giving the kids any type of leeway at all.
I'm very strict.
But if you can't give them any leeway now, as soon as they turn 18 and go to college, then they're going to have full leeway, because there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. So we got to start giving them a little bit of trust and leeway right now to help us and them transition to that next step.
I feel like I understand my husband's point. I think it probably works both ways. If you want your kids to date, I guess it worked out for him. Me, it didn't work. My parents didn't allow me to date, and it worked out for me too. You understand? So you see two different perspectives about stuff.
Like I'm not advising. Like I don't want my daughters to be in a full-fledged, seriously emotional relationship. I'm hoping that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if they want to go out to ice cream with a boy, and I accompany them, or you accompany them.
But if you go to, guess what? You go to ice cream with the boy. Next thing you're having googly eyes. Next thing he wants to kiss you. Next thing he wants to touch you. Next thing, oh, I'm pregnant. No, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like. Oh, so wait. So when you go and take them, now you take your daughter out on a date to go ice cream. She has googly eyes. The next you're going to tell her, oh, we're going to need to put you on birth control. Because guess what's next? You know how chemistry, how the feelings. Like, you remember how we met? Like, when we met, like, oh my goodness, my husband, even now is the same thing. Like, he walks into the room, my whole body just mellows. Like, my whole, it was so much tension, so much chemistry, so much.
Lord have mercy, you don't need to.
It was, and then it was so what, like my husband could have, like me that is sophisticated and whatever, my husband could have a cave and I would be happy with him in the cave. Do you understand? That's how it is. That's what I'm saying, that I don't want him to have to deal with such circumstances. When they go to college, they're adults. You understand what I'm saying? They can handle it. I handled it, and then next minute, guess what happened to us? It was like 4 kids under 4 years. That's how chemistry is. You know what I'm saying? After we got married, anyway, But just so you guys comment below, let us know what you guys think about our conversation. What you guys plan on doing on yours in your circumstances. It was nice always having my husband. He has a different perspective from me. He's raised in America. I'm raised in Nigeria. They're stricter in Nigeria. My parents were stricter. Whatever. But we still came out good. He has his MBA. So it's a blessing. 2 of us sharing our different views and everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Fabulous Annie Show on Facebook and also on YouTube. Hit the notification button. We'll be coming up with something else more intriguing. Bye everyone, till next time. Come on, hit the notification button because you don't want to miss our next conversation. Love you guys. Bye everyone.